Hello, everybody, and welcome to Roman's Reactions. My name is Roman, one of the co-hosts here at the Layup Lounge, and I kind of just wanted to talk about what happened today. I think it was an eventful day. We had the draft lottery, following by Pacers versus Knicks, and then the Timberwolves versus the Denver Nuggets game just ended. So let's talk about it real quick. Going to the draft lottery, I'm a Portland Trailblazer fan, so I was coming in praying, hoping and praying that we got the number one pick. That is not at all what happened. I knew that we are going to get the Golden State Warrior pick because the odds of them being in the top five were slim to none. We ended up getting 14 there, so that was good money for sure. And then they named the Utah Jazz at 10th. And I forgot what they're originally projected, but I'm pretty sure they moved up, so that meant that the Atlanta Hawks also moved up. And then the Spurs got routed off. And then once the Spurs name hit off, I knew that we were going to end up with the seventh pick. That's exactly what happened. I mean, obviously, we got a good pick there a couple years ago with Shane Sharp, and he's had a good trajectory. But as far as just the Portland Trailblazer future, I think there's numerous of things we can do with that pick. We can trade the pick, either the seventh pick or the 14th pick. I think we're probably gonna just stay put there. I hope that we get a big in this situation just because we have Shane Sharp, Screw Henderson, and Anthony Simons. So we're already in that predicament right now. So adding in a fourth guard, I can see it being hard to pass on a Rob Dillingham, Castle from UConn. It's going to be hard to pass up on those guys. Dalton Connect even. Let's talk about the Atlanta Hawks. Because now, coming into this draft lottery, they were projected around that 10th range. They had like a 3% chance of getting the number one pick, and they secure it. So now what do? I think one option is go ahead and trade DeJounte Murray, keep Trae Young for the time being, see what you can get at the number one pick, whether that's Ricochet, Alex Sarr, or somebody else, and see how that 1-2 duo goes. I think that the number one pick that the Atlanta Hawks have obtained is a good building block for the future, whether that's with Trae Young or not. DeJounte Murray, destination for him, it could be going back to the Spurs. The Spurs got the 4th and 8th pick. This draft is considered a weaker draft in the recent years. So, I mean, I don't know if the Spurs have a problem with packaging one or both of those picks in order to obtain a guy like DeJounte Murray. Obviously, Victor Wembanyama is coming off a Rookie of the Year season without having a real great point guard. I mean, Trey Jones isn't a slouch whatsoever, but I think he's a backup point guard. So adding a guy like DeJounte Murray, I think, would do wonders for Wemby. So we'll see what happens there. Very interesting. We hear a lot of rumors about the Rockets as well, that they're trying to get off the third pick. They got guys like Fred VanVleet, Jabari Smith Jr., Dylan Brooks, Jalen Green. Those are dudes that are win now type of dudes. If they're on your team, that means you want to win now. So I think that that third pick is expendable, and I'm sure they're looking to get ready win now talent. Let's talk about the Knicks and Pacers. Coming into this game, obviously we saw a classic game last game with Andrew Nembhard ended up making the shot of his career. Coming into this game, their backs are still against the wall, being down 2-1. But the Knicks side too, Jalen Brunson, Josh Hart, Dante DiVincenzo, those guys are kind of banged up already. Just the heavy usage minutes by Coach Tibbs. So, Coach Tibbs likes to run his guys down to the ground, and I think it's starting to catch up to him. OG Anunoby got hurt last game. Mitch Robertson out. Bogdanovich is out. Like, they're just dropping bodies left and right. So I think it's the right time for the Pacers right now. It's looking really good for them now. They blow out the New York Knicks. Jalen Brunson's talking about there's no excuses or anything like that. But at the end of the day, you got to see one team is very healthy and one team is not. And it's not looking good for the Knicks, to be honest. And we might drop a little off-season thing for the Knicks and see what happens with them. But I think the Pacers are going to move on to the Eastern Conference Finals. The one thing I'm looking at with the Pacers-wise is when they get to the Eastern Conference Finals, are they going to be in a situation like Portland was a few years ago? We made it to the Western Conference Finals, and instead of building off that, we actually depleted off that. I mean, we went from greatness to Hassan Whiteside being in the lineup, Mario Hezonja, Anthony Tolliver, like these dudes that are not even in the league today. So hopefully when the Pacers get there and lose to the Boston Celtics, they build off of what they're creating instead of dropping off. Moving on to the Wolves and the Denver Nuggets. I think that we need to pump the brakes on the Minnesota Timberwolves a little bit. We're talking after game 2, we're talking about is Anthony Edwards, Michael Jordan. And I'm not ready to jump that gun just yet. What I learned from this game as well is maybe it's better off that Rudy is not on the floor as much as he is. We saw in game two, they thrived with Rudy off the floor, and I think they were nitpicking him coming into this game three and game four. So there needs to be adjustments there by Coach Finch. But Denver, this just proves that you can't really underestimate the heart of a champion. You know what I'm saying? They were just coming off a championship. Everyone thinks that they're satisfied with that. But looking at it right now, they're hungry. Jamal Murray is hearing everything. Oh, he's hurt. He's not playing as well. Minnesota has found their way to get him, and he's just came to hoop. Obviously, Jokic go do his thing, find Aaron Gordon, and I think that's one of the best big man duos in the league. That's one of the underrated ones right there. It's gonna be a tough series. Obviously, I think that Denver's gonna take the series at this point. I thought that if the Wolves drop both these games for some reason, the momentum is swinging to Denver, and it's looking like that now, headed back to Denver. My name is Rowan Barnett. Again, you can follow us on everything. Layup Lounge, layup.lounge. All our links go be down below. A lot happened today in the hoop world. And again, Atlanta Hawks, I think they're in a great spot, in my opinion. There's so many ways they can go. Portland Trailblazers, again, the same thing. Do they pick another guard at that 7 spot? What does that mean for Anthony Simons and Shaedon Sharp or Scoot Henderson? Are the Pacers a real threat to the Boston Celtics going to the Eastern Conference Finals? And then now with Denver and Minnesota, can Minnesota bounce back? Let me know in the comments. And welcome to the LL if you're new.